right, welcome to the Around Table tonight.
How you doing?
Hello, as you come in, say hi, say hello as you come in. Let's talk. Just want to make sure that we are live. I need my moderator to check. Can you check to see if I'm live? We want to make sure that we're up and running and make sure I'm on the right page. I make sure I'm not on. We're just gonna introduce myself. Hi. My name is Juanita Adote. I am the CEO of the Around Table, and we're here tonight to talk about some good things. We're here tonight. Tonight's title is Black Man, Where Art Thou, Black King? So we're in. Are you on? Hold on. Are you on YouTube or are you Facebook? Sammy, I'm good. All right. I'm being told that we're good. All right, y'all. Welcome in. As you come in, say hi, say hello as you come in. And do me a favor. Please share, show the love by reposting this out to others so they will see that we are on here, And we will get started. Once again, let me introduce the Around Table. We started this year, but this was birth 2020, and we're in manifestation is this year, and we're just bringing people on and sharing and the love of the community and doing all that good stuff. You saw me? What? You saw me in there? Okay, showing some love and the community to others and to touch others in this Facebook world and YouTube world. And so we're gonna get started. We have a guest on tonight, and our first guest on tonight, I'm going to release and we on myself, and then I'm going to be working behind the scenes. When he comes in, he's going to talk about Black Man or art thou Black King. We do have some topics on tonight. And if you have something that you want to ask, that you want to know about, that you need some understanding on, you need some clarity on about, because there's some things that we don't even know. Put it like that. They have struggles and have things going on that we have no idea. We got another guest. Come, hold on a minute. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Sorry, listen, I was at work and everything going weird.
That's all right. That's all. We just started. Introducing the podcast, and I'm just sharing that we're gonna have some things, and I'm just asking everybody who come in to show the love by reposting this, letting everybody know that we have some people in this building. So I already introduced myself, so I'm gonna allow you guys to introduce yourself, and then we're gonna start off with Darrell. So go ahead, Darrell, and start us off and introduce yourself. You got any Facebook channels? You got anything that you're doing outside of here? The good stuff. Go ahead.
How y'all doing? My name is Darrell Stackhouse. I am a deacon, and I'm an I have a business. Live in the moment. Party Palace. I work at West Point. Been there for 23 years. I'm just doing great things, and we just get ready to talk about this topic that we are talking about, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, overseer, you got it.
All right. Well, my name is Scott Fredericks. I am an overseer in the Lord's Church. I'm also a hotel manager, 20 years with Hilton Hotels. I'm a task force general manager. I go from place to place correcting issues for a living. I am a husband. I am a father. I say triplets, but they're really twins. They're just real close enough. I am a dad. I am a traveler. I am full of fun. I do a little bit of everything. I also am licensed mortician and funeral director. So I do a little bit of everything. I'm like Stackhouse. I'm just an entrepreneur in all forms and fashion.
Amen.
Well, welcome to the Around Table. I appreciate you took out your time on tonight to come on here and just share some stuff about on this topic because there's some things I want to know. But you already have the topic of the night or the things we're going to talk about. And so, if you have something else that you want to add to that, and if everybody who's coming in, please, hi YouTube, hi Facebook, hi everybody, and will you please share this on there? Or please share and let me know. Mama's Busy is on. I can see you. Thank you for coming in. If anybody have any questions or any comments, please put them in. I'm gonna be jumping in and out. So I'll pause here and there. If I pop in and that means someone have a comment on the floor, I'll post it up top so y'all can see it. All right. So let's get started with the first topic. Go ahead, Darrell. It's on you.
Could you tell the first topic first? I don't. I'm using my phone, so I can't even open up my what the topics you sent me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I don't have it in front of me because I thought.
Well, let me
Now-
come on and just be the host.
Well, yeah. Overseer, do you have the topics?
All
I
right.
was gonna- The
So
first
we have
one.
2 topics tonight. So let's see. Let's go here. The transitioning it took to move from slave mentality to king.
Okay, that's a
Okay.
good one. I
Okay.
felt that one. Go ahead.
Now, from slave mentality to kingdom, it took a long journey for me, because I was born and raised in the streets. That's all I knew was streets. My dad, that's what he showed me. And I just didn't have any other body out there to, parent me, to show me the right directions to go, so I was almost like a loner, just didn't have no one to direct me. And it was rough because I made decisions which I thought was great decisions because I was sure enough that I didn't want to be nobody that be begging for money out in the streets. I didn't want to do that. So I made the choice of selling drugs and I did it, but it kind of taught me and changed my life also because I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to have a business of my own. I wanted all these many things, but the choice at that time, I thought that was the way. And believe me, I don't doubt. I don't not doubt it, but I don't. I'm not upset about where I travel because it learned me to be a better man, a better person. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me to make the right decisions in life. I made the choice. I had to live with it, and but I really learned a lot, street knowledge, and how the way life is, and it's really hard out there, mainly when you get into the system, and then they have you lock where when you come back out, you can't even get a job. It's really hard. But I want to tell you guys to just hold on. Don't doubt yourself, and just know that God can make a way. But I had to even learn even how to speak to God because I didn't even know how to really speak to him at that point. I knew of him. My parents brought me back and forth to church, Sunday school, and different stuff like that, but I didn't apply him in my life, put it that way. I just heard about him, but I knew in my heart that I loved him and I wanted to be a Christian, but I just didn't know how or what steps to make because of all the things that were in front of me. But as God just started opening up my heart and started changing my ways, he taught me that people, places, and things, I had to change that. And if I didn't change that, then I'll be right back where I started from. So it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And I changed to be a better man. And then when he blessed me, because I was out there even smoking the trees, and they said I couldn't have no babies. and he blessed me with my daughter, and and that changed me also, because I didn't want her to know my lifestyle or how I was living. My kids, they were babies. They don't know that I was in jail. They don't know that I was doing anything. They never seen that. I never did none of that in front of them. Never did that in front of them. So it'd be a shock sometimes when I tell them that I've been there and done that. But um, I just thank God that I was able to change that lifestyle and trust God, even getting jobs to where I would come home so dirty. Oh, it was just disgusting what I was doing, and my resume spoke more of what I can do, but the felony just held me back. And I just kept on pressing and trusting God. Like, even down to it with my wife, she saw something in me that I didn't see. Like, me driving around everywhere with um no license, and I'm just getting tickets from this Middletown to Newburgh, from Newburgh to everywhere I went. Was getting tickets left and right. And then one day she was like, "Yo, why don't you just go take your license?" And I'm like, "Yo, baby, I ain't got it up here. I smoked too many trees." And I said, I can't do that test. And then one day she said, "I know you can do it." And she was like, "Just pray." And I prayed to God and asked him, "Lord, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna give it a try. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to really pray to you, but I need you to guide my mind and help me come in here with me with this test." And so when we took the test, the guy was going through all the individuals that was in the class, and they were like, "Oh, you didn't pass, you passed, and now it's me coming up." And now I thought he was going to just say, "You didn't pass," but he said, "You passed." And I just started praising God right there, like, "Glory, hallelujah." And I had to ask him how many points was it and all this. I'm just amazed at what God can do. And then I was getting jobs, and just like I said, and they weren't worth it, $5 an hour. But I didn't let that stop me. I kept on pressing, and God opened the doors. And I know good and well I wasn't supposed to be in West Point. That's a government job. But God opened them doors for me, and everything was, they said, "Oh, you're good because your mess was 10 years ago," or something like that, and just opened up doors. So that's the struggle that you have. You have the trust in God. That's the struggle of even having to learn who you really are, because out in the streets I was D Money, but all inside I was Darrell, and I had to learn how to be Darrell again, you know, because the streets had a bond on me. But now that I have learned that, it helped me to be a better husband, a better father, a better dad, and a better person. Trusting in God and trusting in my wife, because she was there for me even when I was doing hot mess. She was my backbone, and I just
So
thank God for her.
can you
So
say,
that
then
was the
you said it's
struggle.
a process for some.
Yes,
They want to even identify who they are. They don't even know who they are because they're still in that mentality. When I put that topic, because that means that under the rulership, the dictatorship, from that mentality to now speaking, you are already a king, but it's just like
yes,
that thing had to switch. What do you say, overseer?
When I think
Scott.
about slave mentalities, I think a lot of times we think about what our ancestors have went through. And even though we are not going through what I like to say the same physical restrictions, we are definitely still fighting the mental restrictions
yes,
that's been placed on us as a people. And there's some other ways too. Um, some of the ways we recognize, well, Joyce Myers wrote a book that says the battleground is in the mind. And a lot of times we can be slaves and take slave mentalities for a lot of reasons. And when you deal with men, one of the biggest things you hear women talk about or they address with us is how we are bound to our comfort zones.
hmm
He's too comfortable. Men don't work. Men don't take care of their children. How can you watch me, work and struggle and not help take care of your children and watch me do all these different things? That is a slave mentality, because
Yes.
you're bound to your comfort zone. It doesn't affect you. That mentality also affects and bring about a whatever is convenient attitude, because I'm not going to apply myself. I'm just going to go with what's convenient. And when you go along with what's convenient for so long in your life, you don't, it's like the man at the pulpit, that your legs lose the ability to ever stand because you're not using them. So when
Exactly.
we think about different mentalities that of slavery, it even go to a lack of knowledge, reading and researching, because we don't want to pick up nothing to educate ourselves. We don't want to pick up self-help books, or we don't want to accept the fact, here's the big one, I got some problems.
Yeah.
And because the slave mentality doesn't look like what our ancestors look like, we are very much bound. One of my personal things is I have a work ethic like a horse, like a workhorse, because it was instilled in me to provide for my family always. But sometimes we can provide and go hard so long that we can neglect all kinds of other things, where you're providing, but and you're present, but you're not fathering, you're not husbanding. Those aren't even words, but I'm gonna make those up tonight. You're not doing really anything else in your life because you're focused on one thing, and we think because we excel in one area that we have balance in every area. And the greatest fight that I had to experience is, or the greatest, hardest thing that I've ever had to do, was learn to stay balanced across the board. You can't do too much of one thing, and you have to be present for just about everything, because God holds us responsible as the kings of our castles, the priest of your homes, whichever way you want to labor it. And one of the biggest things is, you're responsible for it even if it fails.
Yes.
How they ain't listening to me? Well, why they're not listening to you? Oh, the bills ain't get paid. Well, why? And a lot of times we allow people to have wisdom for us. And this is a big thing for me, because we trust people in our lives. Every man has a mentor, whether it was good or whether it was bad. A man learned how to do what he did from somebody, whether it was his cousin, whether it was out in the streets, some group of guys, some group of men, somebody taught us that. And then whatever wasn't taught was passed down from the father.
Hmm.
And then those things become activated in your life, and you become to realizing, now I'm being mentored by something that was never really called to be in my life. I'm trying to be something that even God has never called me to be, but I'm going to go along with it because it's seemingly paying me.
Hmm. So true.
It's seemingly paying me. So one of the biggest things that we have to do is, as men men are so strong at times, but then we also, I know the ladies that say something, oh, they act like babies. Yeah, we can be in some areas like that, because some men don't have you. I always say you have to know what type of man you're dealing with.
Hmm.
All men are not the same. As much as women and people like to put all men into one category, all men are not the same, but we were all made in the same image of God. So where you sleep on a man, men have some of the best discernment you ever can ever imagine. A man could walk in the room and tell you which woman he gonna get, which one he can take home, which one he can marry, which one is the wife, which one is not the wife, which one is the easy one, and don't even have to blink twice. Which speaks about the discernment and things that God has given us from the beginning. It may not be used the right way, but we have those capabilities within inside of us. Men were built to do amazing things, but without cultivation, without having the proper mentor, without having a male figure in your life that can challenge a man to a different level. And the worst part of it is, if you let a man grow to a certain age and not correct, not rebuke, not structure, or not allow that man to see something positive, it's harder to change them as they get older.
Yes.
Oh, let me interject something. You just said something that was good. So, can a woman raise kings in the right way, or how are they supposed to be, or does somebody need another male figure have to step in to help?
You said a woman, hey, hello, Static. You said a woman wants to raise kings and lead, so she's doing it by herself.
Yes.
Well, what I would say to that is one of the biggest misconceptions that single mothers or women that are raising male children alone, they have this mentality that they can be the mother and the father. You cannot be the father. You can celebrate the holiday as much as you want. You can talk bad about the baby daddy as much as you want. You were never equipped to be a man.
That's
You will
right.
never understand how to register some things, the thinking process of a man. And it goes the same as a single father trying to raise daughters. God didn't raise us with breasts. God didn't raise us to be certain levels. I like to say when he pulled Eve out, he pulled out that feminine and that sensitivity part of man and gave it to the woman. It's hard to relate. You can provide.
Let me check real quick. It's saying the sound quality is not good, so I'm not sure if it's my mic. Can you check your mic, Darrell?
Turn it on.
No, it sounds like a feedback. I'm not sure. They're saying something about the quality, but we're gonna go to do the best we can because I'm not sure because we're on a system. Okay, I guess it's everybody. Maybe it's not everybody. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What do you have to say, Darrell, about that? I'm sorry to interrupt over here. I just
Mic
had
check
a
one.
question. You said it might wasn't.
Yes, I agree. What was said and spoken because a man, his thoughts are way different from a woman. Women have their thoughts and their ways, and it's not like a man. And we can be in a disagreement with each other, but it's a balance that we have to have with one another because the way we used to disagree and lose focus, we fought and was fighting with each other. But now that we have God in our life, we still could disagree, but without being angry at each other and lashing out at each other. So it's a balance now, and it's because we'll never be on this. We'll never. How would you say it? We'll disagree to not disagree. But we're never gonna be on. Just like he said, we're never. They could never understand us, or we could never understand them. But we make the best of it. So that was a good topic there.
But I also agree with, I was finishing that point, and you're right, Applewhite. I think that when a single parent finds that, you did not have the necessary other parent in the household, you're absolutely right. You have to depend on community at that point. There were uncles in place. I have a daughter, and when I didn't know necessarily how to deal with certain things, I have my mother, I have my sister. There are other women and people that can be in place, but I think sometimes everybody's situation is different because
Yes.
sometimes because some women and some men get that bitterness in their heart and they constantly create this cycle. Because one thing you can raise your child all you want to, and they'll get old enough and still go searching for the void.
Yeah.
They'll realize, where's my father? Where is my mother? There's something about a child that doesn't see the absent parent that when they do see them, they cling on to everything that is given to them by that parent because that's all they have. And if we don't watch it and we promote the wrong thing to the child, or we say the negative thing to the child, even that can turn around and reverse on you later on, because that child at a certain age is going to go looking for that void and want what I like to say, the other side of the story. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, not every man has left his house. There are some women and some men, depending on which one you are, who have used certain things to keep the child or keep the cycle going in our Black communities, where we should come to the agreement says, okay, I'm not going to be with you. But that has nothing to do with our responsibility to co-parent together to make sure that raising this child is our most important priority. But the
Hmm.
problem comes in is whether we are bitter, or whether we have frustration with the process or whatever we're going through. And I like to say this too, and I'm gonna bring some awareness. All the situations and custody battles is not always because a man is not being a father or want to be a father. I've seen cases where men are absolutely fighting for their children, or mothers are
Hmm.
absolutely fighting for their children, and the system is somewhat rigged because they always presume that the children are residing with the mother, which is the case most of the time. And fathers go directly on child support, and fathers are limited out of a 30-day calendar to every other weekend. Or if it's a woman, I'm not saying just men, but women too, that are going through that situation, that are limited to it. So I do agree with even what's been written. It says the man will encounter situations that will test their mental. A man has to accept it. Remember, man that is born of a woman, few days full of trouble. How we handle trouble will determine what kind of man we are, if we
Yes.
are a man at all. And you say, yeah, I said it. Well, and that is absolutely true. How we deal with trouble is absolutely true. It is absolutely true. And most men, we don't deal with situations. We run from situations. We won't mature in situations. Then we're cowards about situations, and we won't take responsibility for certain things. And I do believe that our blessing in life is hinged on our ability to be a good father, to be a good everything that God has assigned us to be. I don't know, Stackhouse, what you think.
Oh, I agree exactly what you're saying because I I so much wish that my dad was really in place where he supposed to have been, because he had so many trades, many gifts, many talents that he could have um gave me, instead of just giving me the negative. He has so many trades that he know how to work on cars. Know how to. He's a carpenter. He does all this stuff that he could have pushed on to his kids, but he chose to do the other direction, and it had me lost for a minute, because I didn't know who I really was, or what was my gifts, or what I had really in me. I didn't know. So I was lost. So I just made the decisions that I made, thinking that they were correct. But I believe some of them was all right, because that's what made me who I am today. So I can't really beat myself up on what I went through. But if he would have been there, like, even like we have grandparents and all that stuff you can go to, I didn't have that. So, you know, it's just if you do have that and you have guidance, I believe that you'll turn out to be a better person in life. But I just didn't have that, so that's why I speak the way I speak. Disrespecting no one, just being real.
So we got some good questions in here, which are kind of, we got some other questions, but I see some questions. They said, why are men quiet when life get hard?
Well,
I answer it first. Me
okay, go ahead.
personally, I'm a problem solver with everything that I do. Am I perfect at problem solving everything in my life? No. But what I do, as far as a vocation and what I've learned to do, is number one, it's learn to think. I think men deal with things on the level of importance. And sometimes what's important to the man may not be important to the woman
Hmm.
at the same time or on the same value session. I would say something like that because me personally, I'm already thinking ahead and strategizing. I'm thinking about life and my family and providing and all these different things way ahead of time, strategizing. So there are some things and times that are going to go haywire and going to do that. And sometimes there's a plan already in place so that I can sit back and be calm about it. And even when I don't, for those of us that are faith believers, some things are just going to happen in our life where you have to know whether this is a God moment where he's teaching us something, or he's trying to show me something, or this is just something that at this time and season of my life that I need to go through. And instead of running from the situation, I run now in my life head on into it, because sometimes the greatest fights in your life are orchestrated by God. A lot of times they're orchestrated by God, and we give the devil so much credit for coming after us. But I did see a comment where somebody said that the worst issues and times of our life that we have fought through have produced the best character. And that's what the scripture says. You know, it produces patience. Nobody ever got great being easy or living through an easy life. Everybody who was great today went through some form of struggle, some strong of pain, some sort of life issue that they never thought that they would go through. But now they look on the other side and said, that was nobody but God that brought me through that. And I'm a different person today. Whether it's sickness, I mean, you could be sick in your body, and God is trying to teach you the power of who he is. And sometimes through those sicknesses, God is pulling things up out of you. And I think, and I always say this, even when I'm ministering, I'm preaching, and I let you go deep, is that the hardest thing in the world is to hear what God has to say about you, to you. And we ask God to do a lot of different things in our life. But the problem is we don't control the method in which he chooses to use to correct the issues within us. And God will set you up for some things that will test your whole gangster. It will test your whole nerves. And there's nothing you could do about it but go through.
Nothing. And I agree on that, because I had to learn there's 5 steps of decision making. And the last one that we usually do is act. We go straight to act, but it's 5 steps. It's to see the situation clearly, know what you want, evaluate, decide, expand your possibilities, and then act. But us as men, we go straight to act.
Say it again, sir. Say it slower. Say it again, sir, please. I'm back.
See the situation. It's 5 steps of decision making, and us men normally go straight to act because that's what we do. We want to act on it real fast. If it's a fight, we want to act on it. But it's 5 steps of decision making. See the situation clearly, evaluate and decide, expand your possibilities, see, I'm mixing it up now. I'm sorry. See the situation clearly, expand your possibilities, evaluate and decide, and act. I believe I said 5, but it's 5 of them. Act is 5. But I had to learn that, because when we go straight to act, we can get into a lot of trouble, because we go straight to act instead of seeing the situation clearly. You know, and there's be consequences if we don't expand our possibilities, evaluate and decide, and seeing the situation clearly. We can get into so much trouble when you just go straight to act. And that's what us men do, because we want to find the resources fast. We don't want to hesitate. We're going to take care of it right then and there, you know, regardless if it was a good way or a bad way. We want to handle the situation. And that's where our problem comes in. But when we use the 5 steps correctly, then we are able to make the right decision. We are able to, you know, even ask for help, because sometimes men don't like to ask for help. They want to just do it their way. But sometimes we need that guidance to ask someone for help that been there and done that. Experienced teacher is the best teacher. And I know I've been through a lot, so I experienced a lot. So experienced teacher is the best teacher. So when we get in these situations, we shouldn't have to be ashamed asking somebody if we don't know. and ask them, yo, can I could you help me on this situation? I'm having trouble in this area. Don't be afraid to ask. Amen.
Is that the same thing? I want to is that the same thing when they it's, I don't know if it's just a saying. It's the same thing where they said men, if they don't evaluate, or what you're talking about, if they don't like, they get say their emotion. They only have one emotion, anger. So instead
Hmm.
of them like being centered and say, okay, I'm angry, you hurt me. Instead of doing that, you go pop off and you angry. Is that the same thing? Where you got to
Yeah,
do
it's
those five
somewhat just
steps?
like, yeah, it's
Okay.
somewhat like that, but
Mhm.
that's the process of we have to learn, and it's a process. We have to learn how to make them decisions because it's 5 steps in decision making. See, people just think it's just act. When you make
Right.
a decision, you just act, but it's not. It's 5 steps, and you got to make sure you make them 5 steps because then you thinking clearly, and now you know what you want, and you are expanding your possibilities, and then the outcome will come out much better when you start thinking and
Mm-hmm.
knowing that if you did go straight to act, you could be locked up in jail,
Mm-hmm.
or you could end up hurting somebody real bad. It's just you got to know what you want in life, and if you don't want to be behind them bars, you'll make the right decisions.
Okay. And then I want to bring something in because we talked about, well, for me, knowing, we're in the same house, God, where y'all stand. But what about the man? Now y'all talking to millions of people. This is gonna go to millions of people. And what about the ones that don't know Christ? Now we're talking black men, not excluding anybody. We're not being prejudiced, but we're gearing this on our black men because a lot of times y'all get the short end of the stick, in my opinion. So what happens? Can y'all both speak to the man that's not in Christ? They don't know what to do. They're angry. They're frustrated. They don't know. They've been told they're no good. They didn't all that wrapped up in what would you tell them? Somebody
I
start.
would Okay, I myself would tell them to um try to get around positive people, or invite them to church, you know, and because people, places, and things, if you, like Einstein said, if you continue on doing the same old things and expect different results, it's impossible. So you have to change some things. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you're going to move forward. You have to change some things because your old lifestyle, you used to doing that. We were born in sin, shaped in iniquity. So if this is something that we always did, and this was our lifestyle. Sometimes change hurts. So you have to want to change. And I wanted to change because I was there. Like one of them brothers was out there fully in the streets. And I was lost. Believe me, I was in knee deep in so much stuff that was unbelievable. And now that these people see me now, they like, yo, how did you do it? And I tell them it wasn't me, it was God, but I had to make the right decision on what I want in life. I wanted change. So that's what worked for me.
I mean, I would say, I think sometimes we try to take the Christian way, and I think some men that are not Christian or don't know the church thing and all those different things, I think people acknowledge God, but I think, to be honest, sometimes enough stuff got to go wrong
Yes.
for things to start turning right with most of us men. Sometimes you have to end up in the place where simply God has to simply now have your attention. That's why we see some of my brothers in jail, in different situations. And I think a lot of times they used to say in church that we intervene into people's life before God had the chance to take them through what he wanted to, trying to
Hmm.
change them and make them into something. And the reality is only God can handle that process. And I do believe that we have to find ourselves sometime at the bottom,
Yes.
looking up and realizing I don't have no other options.
Hmm.
Every avenue, that's why they create these songs. I searched all over. Somebody had to go through it. I
Hmm.
don't have nobody. I'm at the bottom. I done lost everything. It's amazing that people who lose everything don't realize it until it's all gone. They used to say,
Yeah.
because I'm too busy not paying attention to realizing that things were excellent in my life and I was losing things the whole time because my mind and my attention, that's not where it was. Sometimes we think more highly about ourselves and we think we still got it and we the man. And then you start to realize there's a whole nother breed coming behind you
Hmm.
and that you're not going to always be on top. So any real good man had to reach a bottom. And then once you reach the bottom and your consciousness is excuse me, is at a level where now you can process something because you done lost so much that now you're willing to eat anything to get up. You start to realize now I got to take responsibility for what has happened in my life. Ain't
Yes.
nothing worse than the man that don't take responsibility.
You know, it's so true because you got grown men that still, whatever trauma they dealt with, if you dealt with it in age 17, their mind is still at age 17. And it can be
Hmm.
40, 50 years old, but still think
Oh,
about
yes.
age 17 or whatever age it was, whatever it was that stopped you from growing. That's where your mind is at. And they never grow until they gotta look at themselves. Now I'm gonna bring this question up because there's a lot of stuff. Y'all good tonight, y'all. Y'all go ahead. But anyway, there's one of the things I want to bring back. Women up in here, listen good. Okay, we know that. Man, and somebody said the Puerto Ricans too. So we know y'all go through the men, be it our brothers, be it our fathers, be it our cousins, whatever. Y'all have struggles that y'all don't even talk about. And then when you got to go through the world, go out there and go facing the world and the struggles that y'all have to deal with, and then got to come home to unrest. Talk to the women tonight and say, what is that like to you when you got to deal with everybody else out there on your shoulders? What do you look for when you get home? I'm on mute. Go ahead.
Well, I think most women, I'm not gonna say most, some women don't understand that aspect right there of what a man really has to contend with. Even in 2023, we in 2023, with working and providing and all these different things, it is a lot. I would like to say that most men are functional depression, deal with functional depression. And functional depression is I can get up every day and still do my job and do everything and be depressed, and you have no clue that I'm going through different things within inside of myself. Um, because we go through things at work, we go through things in the family aspect, we go through things, and then you got to deal with yourself. Most men are functional depressed men, and you're fighting with him about why he drinks so much. You're fighting with him or why he's smoking his weed so much. But the reality is, we're going to do the thing that brings us peace. We're going to do the thing that allows us to take our mind off it. We're going to do the thing that allow us to even be able to deal with you in the house. So I'd rather be drunk listening to you than sober listening to you. I'd rather be high listening to you than sober listening to you. Because sometimes those are the things that keep us at bay so that, like Deke said, we're not reacting. Because reacting will escalate the situation to a whole nother level. It's
Hmm.
not that men are not honest. It's not that men don't tell the truth. It's not that men lie. I don't really think sometimes what man has to say and really spit the truth that they really want to, you can handle what would actually come out of our mouths. Because men, it don't take too many words for a real man to go home and tell his family or whoever what the real problem is and what the issue is. But the reality is, it is better for me to be quiet and let you think you keep winning, because if I really came out and said what I need to say, or come out and say why I won't marry you, or why you will never get a ring from me, because you really are not a wife, or you really don't do what it takes. You don't listen to me. And a lot of times, sometimes the issue is you don't listen to us. And most men are few words. It don't take much. Give me a pound cake and, whatever, I'm good. But again, when we want to give, you want to give us what you want to give us, and you want us to be what you want us to be, so that you can live your dream. You're living vicariously through me about something that I never really signed up for. I don't, you wanted the big wedding, but I know every day you're not the wife, or you're not this. So why am I going to waste my money and waste my time fronting in front of people? So when you're asking women why this man won't marry me, and I'm not saying it's all men, he does not see you as the wife. If you with him for 20 years and you ain't do nothing, there's something that's still missing. I don't see you in that capacity. And it's amazing, because I've seen men come out of 20-year relationships and 30-year relationships, couldn't have kids, didn't get married. And as soon as they get the next one, they get married, they have kids, because, but y'all worried about what the woman looked like. But she got oxtails and neck bones brewing up every day. She's scrubbing them down in the shower with honest clothes, all because guess what? I want him to go right back out there and do the same thing tomorrow. The worst thing is to come home and not have peace. And when men don't have peace, we'll find ourselves going everywhere else except home. We'll work overtime. We'll stay at the job. We'll get double jobs. We'll go hang out with the boys. We'll do all kinds of different things, because guess what? We find peace elsewhere. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, man of God said, I'd rather live on the roof than be in the house with a brawling woman. And I think that sometimes every woman has to learn what type of man she has and how to communicate with him. Because it's always sometime, and I'm ending, about her feelings and her emotions. And we get that. We're not really responsive. We're not emotional. We can respond to emotions. We don't mind. Mature men know how to hug and be consistent with certain things. But the reality is we are so cut and dry with our approach. We don't go through all of those cycles and different things with problems. We just cut it. We deal with it. Like Deke said, we react. You're my friend or you're not my friend. I'm cutting it. We don't toil with issues and go back and forth in some capacities the way, and no offense, the way women do. Y'all want the answers to everything. We don't need an answer. What you reflected and what you did was more than enough answer for men. So the reality is, what brings us peace at home is something that you have to study your man enough to know what makes him happy. And the reality is, it's not a whole lot. And that's why women can buy you all the sneakers and clothes and games and everything, and he still won't be faithful to you because you're still missing it.
What you say, Deke? And then we got another question. We got about 10 more minutes. What do you say about that, Darrell? And then we got the last question on the board.
I say that, with that point that you have addressed, men loves a peaceful home. Oh, so much a peaceful home. But also, women have to know that we're like 10 men, but we got a heart also. So you can't just say anything out the way and then all of a sudden expect us not to say something back. And the first thing, when women be fast to say, oh, you hurt me. Well, just as well as you said something, it could have hurt me, but I'm not going to show it because I'm the man. But you hurt me. You said it. You said what you wanted to say, and I said what I wanted to say. So we both hurt each other. But the man don't show it. Like sometimes when females get into like they feeling some type of way, and they're in the corner boo-hooing and crying, and now all of a sudden they get upset with the man because he's not boo-hooing and crying. He just hey, it'll be all right. And you like, well, why you ain't crying? Why you ain't boo-hooing with me? But us men, we don't do that. We thinking of a plan. We gonna be all right. But some of them think that we're supposed to be in the corner with them and shedding these tears all day and night, the next day, and we just not built that way. So they get upset with us, when we don't, and but I just you have to stay in prayer in that area, you really do,
We
because you women, boy, I tell you,
I like
y'all
that
some tough
question that
tough
popped up. I
cookies.
want to answer that.
well, we gonna have to have another session, y'all, because this is y'all got these comments on fire.
Did we get
And
that
we're
last
doing
question?
that's where there's one right here. Go ahead. That's actually more, but answer that one right
It
there.
says, I understand, I hear and I understand what you're saying, but why do men waste our time? We don't waste your time. You can leave at any time.
Hmm.
You've been with me for 20 years because you just never left me. Maybe the intimacy was good. Uh,
Hmm.
maybe you were still trying to win me over. And sometimes people, men and women, will stay with a 7 until they find 8. Sometimes different tactics with certain men rejecting and different things, because some things that may hurt you may cause another woman to respond and turn on.
Hmm.
So a lot of times is you have to ask ourselves, if we in the relationship together, we here, well, I've been here for 20 years and you never married me. Well, why was you here for 20 years?
Hmm.
I didn't hold you against your will. I ain't, come on, we gonna talk like they do out in the world and all the other stuff. I ain't tell you to come lay on my bed. You called me in the middle of the night and told me you missed me and want to come on. So hey, a man ain't gonna turn it down.
Not at all.
He's not gonna turn it down. You want to be with me, come be with me. And if you're willing to tolerate who I am in order to be with me, then you do that. But sometimes when a man make up his mind that he's not gonna tolerate it, he go on, because a man can be with 5 different women and find a different personality and trait in each one of them that he
Mm.
would really like to get in one woman, but he can't. So each one of them are something different. But then when a
Real talk.
man gets to a point where he's tired of all that and he finds a good one, she may not look the way his ex-women may think he should look, but she packed with qualities.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this is what I'm gonna ask everybody that's watching on Facebook and YouTube. If y'all want another segment about this, type in redo again if you want to have another segment, because the questions that we had on the topics that we had on, we didn't get close to them, right? We still had a few of us out there that we didn't get a chance to talk about. And you're on fire.
You
Somebody
know,
right, redo, say redo, because we need to hear more, because that was a whole bunch. That was a whole bunch. Once again, that was a whole bunch to try to hold on to and just try to put it in its category, just trying to put it, because I got one question after all this, but we're talking about the men right now. We're talking about the black men. We ain't going to go into, but we're talking about the black men. We want to know how y'all, we just want to make sure they good. Y'all good. Get a, so you don't mess me up. You just messed me up.
you just talking candid. Do
Oh
candid.
my gosh. Oh, redo. Are we gonna have, instead of we can do? Is that you? Oh my gosh, can't think of there right now. Vic, is that you, Vic? If that's it, we want him to come on here. Y'all ready? Y'all want Vic on here as well?
Yeah,
Sure.
bring him
Could
on.
be.
All right. So we're gonna come. We got to do another redo, y'all, because this is no way. We got 6. This is no way. This is no way that we can put all this in one thing. So we will have to come back here again to do this again. And I'm asking everybody who is on Facebook and YouTube, please come, please like Juanita Living Life Unapologetically. Please like that so you won't miss anything. And also, please like here. Everybody who's on here, this is your first time, please click on the like button so you will not miss anything, because I always have people come on here having that, showing their businesses. If you got a business, I would love for you to come on here. You could talk about it. It's shining the light. And but this tonight has, yeah, it's Vic, because I can't see everybody's name, y'all. So on here I can just see Facebook. um I want in. Shaniqua Goodman said she want in. I want in. Sis, I want in too. I'm right here in the midst of it all. And let's put one more question. Anybody, please make sure y'all like this so you won't miss anything that's going to be coming up, because we're coming back on this topic. Y'all done open up something. Y'all know that, right? Y'all done open up a whole bit of something, a lot of something, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of people is awesome. I know we didn't get everybody's question, and we do apologize. We try to catch them. Um, oh, you're welcome, Vanity Lifestyle. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, listen, this is yeah, they playing. These are real men. These are so they, I think let's do the last one. Your time can always be wasted if it's allowed. You just talked about that over here. Be clear with what your expectations are early in the courtship. That would no doubt filter out time time wasters. You were just talking about that, right, overseer?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna thank you because we got 4 minutes down. Anybody else want to add something? Anybody on here that has a question and they're gonna answer it within 30 seconds? Is that possible? I doubt it. But if anybody have a question on, yeah, real men for real. For real. Anybody have a question quickly before we sign off? Because I know there's a lot of stuff. We had so much to talk about tonight, and it was good. It was good. It
Amen.
was better than good. Anybody, any questions on YouTube or Facebook? If not, if y'all had a topic, y'all want to say something on this matter before we close out, you're welcome. Did either one of you have something that y'all wanted to share that was on your heart to and also share your Facebook, your YouTube. Y'all shared it, but share it again so everybody would know that. Even when they announce their pages or their businesses, please write it down and go visit these. Check them out. Go on their on YouTube pages, their Facebook pages, and join. Okay. Um, I'm gonna post it. Tell them we appreciate them. We do
Man,
appreciate
thank you.
Black kings, not Puerto Rican kings. Oh, y'all, we do. But
Always.
tonight was geared on you guys because so many times I see that you don't get appreciated like you should, and, and then now women, what they want. One of the things they said they wanted tonight to come home to peace. Now I'm pretty
Peace.
sure when we're gonna come back to, well, you know what we want. We're not talking about that tonight, women. We're talking about to the men, to the Black kings on tonight, walking in their right. So anybody have anything else to say?
Amen.
We salute you, kings. Any Darrell or overseer, y'all have anything before we close
Listen,
out?
thanks for having us on. Listen, me and Brother Darrell, we ready. We could do the battle of the sexes, the real uncut, whatever you want to do. But I do think
Amen.
it is healthy dialogue. So I
Yes.
think
Yes.
people can get a lot of answers. And sometimes, again, it was great questions. I trust that we didn't offend anybody, but it was great questions. And
Yes.
bring the questions. Let's support a platform that would give you answers to some of the things you want. And I'm a fan of Brother Darrell. He the coolest dude I know up in Orange County. So he got experience in the areas I don't, and vice versa. So we can't speak for
Amen.
everybody, but when you
Amen.
mix it all in, most of the things with men are pretty much the same. We old and the
Yes.
new. We can kind of go on the same principle. So thanks for having me on.
Amen.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming.
having us. And I appreciate you all. And yes, you said it right. When we both get together, well, they better watch out. Get ready for round two.
All right, so we're gonna have Vic coming on here too, and we're gonna have pretty sure we're
Yes.
gonna have some other people that's gonna come on here, right, guys? That's in here. Come on, man. Make
Yes.
sure y'all like this page so you won't miss it, and reach out to me. And if you have a business or something that I shine a light on, I'll bring you on here. You're gonna share what it's all about. Please, do me a favor. Send me a comment or send me something in the messenger, and we will talk and we will set up something. And I always say, Vic is coming with the truth. All
Indeed.
right, Vic,
That's what
okay,
we did
so
tonight. The truth.
good night. So before we close out, I always say it's not over until God says so. Please like this channel. Please go to my YouTube channel, Juanita Living Life Unapologetically Designed. Please like that, and we'll see you on next time. Everyone, have a blessed night. Good night.
Good night. God bless.